It's time for Business with me, Beverly Broohm. The issue of corporate governance is identified as a hindrance to micro, small and medium enterprises in the country that may be willing to access some African markets under the Continental Free Trade Agreement. This is according to the National African Peer Review Mechanism Governing Council. Many Ghanaian firms are yet to take advantage of the agreement, which has been signed for the past 3 years. Acting Executive Secretary Winifred Akoto-Sampong has been speaking with Joy Business after an editors' forum targeted at the implementation of the agreement. Here's more. There has been a strong pillar behind the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement after winning the bid to host the Secretariat, which makes it the commercial capital of Africa. Despite this, most Ghanaian firms still struggle to access other markets on the continent due to lack of corporate governance.
Rate means it has gained 10 pesos in value to the world's most important currency since yesterday. The cedi's impressive run for the past 2 weeks has come as a surprise to many since the country's reserves have fallen significantly to about 2 months of import cover, whilst its net foreign assets is also negative. However, the significant progress made by the government on the domestic debt exchange program could be the rationale behind the cedi's recent performance. This is assuring investors that the government is committed to bringing the country's debt to a sustainable level and subsequently building a robust fiscal economy.
Economist Professor Lord Mensah is projecting that the domestic debt exchange program may rather aid in the quick recovery of the economy. This follows warning from other financial analysts that the program will crash the economy and it will take about 5 to 10 years to achieve recovery. But speaking on PM Express Business Edition, Professor Mensah, however, noted that an economic turnaround could be realized if the government also shows commitment by cutting down its expenditure.
If you look at the happenings now, it all boils down to government and their, appetite for spending after the domestic debt exchange. If government continue the momentum that they have in their spending, trust me, this exercise that we're doing will be nothing to write about. So we hope that government will give that signal. And as you mentioned, in the media budget.
Would you want them to use a media budget to show this commitment of the cuts
that
in
is very, very important. And in fact, if I'm to look beyond, the engagement that various, financial institutions have had with the government, what was missing, right, was the post-DDE, how government can be committed to some of the things they say. Yeah, fiscal discipline. And probably most of them were relying on the presence of IMF, at the time, because we know when we go to IMF will give us that kind of restrictions on how we spend. And now they're going.
Prior actions, they're asking for certain critical things to be done.
0% financing from the Bank of Ghana.
Publishing of the COVID-related news was part
the last IMF we went to was 5%. We couldn't manage the 5% it took us very short time to go back to IMF. So now it's going to be harsh. So you're going to do 0% financing.
I'll come back to you on, and it's still the doom. So for you, you don't think that it is really that bad?
It all depends on how government manages its finances. And as I mentioned, if government continue to spend the way we've been spending, recklessly, inefficient spending, we'll end up coming back to the same situation.
Now, the African star apple, popularly known as Alansa, is a seasonal fruit which is predominant in tropical regions. Its parts are consumed by the populace and used in folklore to manage diabetes. But Haji Ajara says, despite its availability this season, patronage has been low. On this week's episode of the Joy Business Shopping List, I spent some time with Hajia at the Malata market to explore the fruits.
Ghana Diana said
Togo dear. Eden Togo dear.
A baye, a fee, a connoissing.
And Conny you cry. And Conny have said, a Fibiano. Yet me tono.
What I have in stock now is from Togo. Sales this year have really been slow, unlike the years past. A full basket of the fruits was sold for 500 cedis last year, but now it's shot up to 1,500 and 2,000. The high cost of transportation, as well as the CFA, is really affecting our businesses.
500, 400, 300 now. But this year.
Around this time last year, you would find so many customers gathered here, but as you can see, the place is empty. This year, the price is deterring customers from buying the fruits. The price for one is now 3 cedis. Previously, this size was selling for 1 cedi or 3 cedis for 5.
What's the difference?
Oh, Ghana, when Microphone said the head, then who's a blonde pad, yes, sir. When I did, Doco says sugar. My mother couldn't shit. Doco says sugar. Well, I say sugar. Bagana, the yam, sir. And the nigga says, say,
the ones from Togo are sweet as sugar, and the ones from Ghana are sour. But it's all medicinal, so it's good for everyone, regardless of your health condition. People come here to buy as many as 100 pieces just to consume with their families. These are the leaves of the fruits. It's also very medicinal, but it's not for sale.
Typhoid, wash system, hey, next year, dear. Because next year, dear, said they say find out.
We are wondering how business will be next year. Looking at how expensive the CFA is now, prices will skyrocket, but we are looking up to God. This was brought in yesterday and it's already discoloring, meaning we need to sell them now, else it might go bad in the next 2 days. The African star fruit is very medicinal. It's good for diabetes, malaria, typhoid. The seed is also medicinal. You can grind it and mix it with shea butter. It's really good for the ladies.
And they were inside.
As I said, the China, the may milk a China, the more also hot China. Remember, no penetrate.
Let's go to the Ashanti region now, where traders and other consumers of electricity in Kumasi have expressed their reservations about the upward adjustment of utility tariffs announced by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. Respondents want the government to consider the current economic hardship in adjusting prices of utilities. Lava Firm's Nana Boachi Yadom engaged traders at Kejetia and has filed this report.
So the new utility tariffs, i.e. water and electricity, began yesterday, 1st February. Today we are here at Kejetia Adum. We'll be engaging some traders. We'll be asking them how this new tariffs will affect their lives, most importantly their businesses.
We have nothing to do. This is how we live in this country. We are praying our businesses will also grow so that we can also pay the bills. It will continuously go up unless our leaders consider. If not, we will continue to pay more.
I hope say that's sorry I'm reckoning with you. Abano and said no more. And after the
Government isn't planning his things well, so we will continue to be affected. We should also work hard to support government. I don't even see how we benefit, but we always wake up to new prices. Lights are not stable. People are suffering. Honestly, these bills are making things difficult for us. We plead with government that if they have anything to ease the burden on us, they should really do. Ghana is suffering.
Slow. So if they reduce it for us, we hope it will be good for us. So we are pleading to the government that he should do something for us, so that we, the marketers, we can do our best. We can pay our utilities and everything.
Our salaries have not been increased, so eventually it's going to increase the cost of living. We are collecting the same salary, and if these things are going up, definitely, by calculation, we are going to suffer.
Lead base is too much. It's been more money. Into more now, lead base no cost us and how
The bills are very high. Some businesses aren't even good enough to pay. It is really affecting some people. The water bill is too much. There is no money in this country, so the bills must be reduced. The light bill and electricity bill is really high. We are unable to pay. Residents in my house are always fighting over bills. The bill we receive are high.
From Kumasi, KJT to be precise, Nana Bwachida Kwayadom for Joy News.
Moving on, Burkina Faso has affirmed its commitment to the trade relations with Ghana. The landlocked country is looking forward to expanding trade as it gears up to participate in the African Continental Free Trade Area. Burkina Minister for Transport, Urban Mobility and Road Safety, Roland Somda, disclosed this at the inauguration of Burkina Shippers Council's CFA 1.4 billion building at Tema. Our correspondent Kwame Yanka has more in this report.
Burkina Faso remains Ghana's biggest transit customer among the landlocked countries using Ghana's ports. As of November 2022, cargo traffic to Burkina Faso was over 1 million tons, representing 66.6% of the total transit cargo traffic. Burkina Minister for Transport, Urban Mobility and Road Safety, Roland Somda, says his country will continue to work closely with Ghanaian authorities to facilitate cargo traffic. Translator David Levin Essiam has been translating the French interview.
Alors donc, nous nous réjouissons et nous félicitons tous les acteurs qui ont œuvré à ce que ce projet devienne une réalité aujourd'hui que nous sommes en train d'inaugurer.
Boost the trade between the partners, the two of us, and also to ensure that all obstacles, especially the land obstacles that slow down the movement of goods from Burkina Faso to Ghana, all be dealt with. So once again, we are very grateful, and we hope we can do more. This edifice will further boost the transport of goods, the movement of goods and cargo from Burkina Faso, and will do more to go on to support our economy as well.
Board Chair of Burkina Shippers Council, Alansa, says their office, built at a cost of 1.4 billion CFA or $2.5 million, is a sign of further commitment, having been in Ghana for 3 decades.
Le projet, depuis pratiquement 5 ans, nous l'avons engagé. Et aujourd'hui, nous inaugurons ce bâtiment qui résulte encore pour dire.
This goes to attest to the fact that we have been here for about 30 years, and it also shows the relationship that we have with the Ghanaian authorities. And this relationship we are ready to deepen. We are ready to also build capacity to ensure that there is more trade and there's more activity between partners. We, as I mentioned earlier, this land was granted to us in 2011, and about 5 years ago, we began this project that has seen the light of day today. And therefore, we are very grateful to the Ghanaian authorities for their collaboration, and we hope their partnership will be more fruitful.
Deputy Transport Minister Frederick Obeng-Adom, who represented the sector minister, commended Burkina Faso and urged other landlocked countries to follow suit.
So we could talk about the other landlocked countries who are also customers of the Ghana Ports Authority and who use the Ghana shipping. But you could find out that the Burkina Faso is actually the best in terms of transit cargo. So it will still foster a very good relationship between us. And looking at the Africa Free Trade Continental area, this is also to promote a very good share prosperity, which will help the whole continent. Well, I will commend Burkina Faso. As I commend Burkina Faso, I would also call on other countries that they are open to also set up offices here in Ghana to promote the relationship.
Meanwhile, speaking on behalf of Director General of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Director of Tema Ports, Sandra Opoku, assured that the authority will continue to put in measures to coordinate transit trade.
And with this edifice, we can say that Burkina Faso is firmly rooted in Ghana now. We say a big thank you for all your customers from Burkina Faso who are using our port, and we pledge to our continuous support to see the growth of the transit business through our port, through provision of efficient and effective service delivery.
Burkina Shippers Council will protect and defend shippers' interests, facilitate and streamline the transport chain, and manage the freight generated by Burkina Faso's foreign trade. Ghana Shippers Authority, haulage truck drivers, among other partners, were.
And that's how we end business tonight. Thank you so much for your company. For more business news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I am Beverly Broohm.